One NFL player got a spinal cord injury that was so bad it ended his football career. Another guy got slammed hard while trying to recover the ball in the end zone. These are some NFL players who almost died while playing. First up, we've got Darryl Stingley. He played his whole 5-season NFL career as a wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Darryl was getting better every year and things were looking up until a sudden injury changed everything. During a preseason game, he got hit hard by Jack Tatum from the Oakland Raiders while he was running across the field. This hit was one of the worst in NFL history. It left him paralyzed, and he spent the rest of his life as a quadriplegic. Sadly, he passed away when he was just 55 years old, but it still wasn't as bad as how this next guy was injured. Now, let's talk about Chris Spielman. He was a standout linebacker in the NFL when he played for the Detroit Lions. He got picked for the All-Pro team 3 times in his first 7 seasons in the league. But then something scary happened. During a preseason game, he took a brutal helmet-to-helmet hit that hurt his neck. He was actually paralyzed on the field for a while, but amazingly, he managed to walk off by himself later on. Sadly, that injury also marked the end of his NFL career, as it happened in his last season playing in the league. Speaking of career-ending injuries, let's check out the story of Kevin Everett. He was picked in the 3rd round of the 2005 NFL Draft by the Buffalo Bills. He played in all 16 games of the 2016 season as a tight end and also helped out on the Bills' special teams. Everett was finding his groove on the team until things took a terrible turn in the first game of the next season. While trying to tackle an opponent during a special teams play, Everett suffered a major neck and spinal cord injury. He couldn't move at all on the field, and they rushed him to the hospital for emergency surgery on his neck. After that, he never played another game. But here's the amazing part. He actually overcame the paralysis and started walking again. The Pittsburgh Steelers linebackers are famous for their tough defenses, but even they can get injured at times. Then there's Ryan Shazier. Shazier looked like he was going to become one of those legendary linebackers for the team. He even made it to the Pro Bowl 2 times in a row before something awful happened. Ryan's promising career was cut short by a terrible injury. During the 2017 NFL season, Shazier had a terrible head-on collision that left him partially paralyzed on the field. After that hit, he couldn't play in any more games, and doctors said he might never walk again. But guess what? He proved them all wrong. With multiple surgeries and a lot of determination, he actually managed to start walking again. Speaking of linebackers, here's another one who was injured while playing. Reggie Brown. He played his entire 2-year NFL career with the Detroit Lions. Reggie was becoming a solid linebacker, and he even got 2.5 sacks in his 2nd season. He also did something cool by returning 2 interceptions for touchdowns. But then things turned frightening. While trying to tackle an opponent during a rushing play, Brown had a horrifying spinal cord injury that left him completely unable to move on the field. It was so serious that he couldn't even breathe on his own and needed CPR right there on the field. He never played again either, but luckily, he recovered with some rehabilitation, and now his son plays tight end instead. These injuries can seriously end football careers. Let's talk about Johnny Knox and a game-changing injury he experienced in 2011 while playing for the Chicago Bears against the Seattle Seahawks. He caught a pass, but then fumbled it near the end zone. In the scramble to recover the ball, he got slammed hard by a Seahawks player, Anthony Hargrove. This hit bent Knox's body in a bad way, and he described it as the worst pain he'd ever felt. Luckily, he could still move his arms and legs, but he needed a stretcher and surgery because his back was seriously messed up. After the surgery, Johnny Knox's football career was pretty much over. The Bears let him go, and he decided to step away from the game after that. It was a tough ending for a guy who'd worked so hard to make it to the NFL, coming from a small town in Texas and overcoming a lot of hurdles along the way. His story is a reminder of how unpredictable and challenging pro football can be. Some injuries are so bad that people remember them for a long time afterwards. Everyone remembers the day Joe Theismann was injured. Back in 1985, during a Monday Night Football game, Joe Theismann, who was playing for the Washington Redskins, had a life-changing moment. The game against Giants legend Lawrence Taylor was about to take a shocking turn. Theismann, trying a tricky play, received the ball and started to scramble when he couldn't find a pass. That's when Lawrence Taylor, with all his might, brought him down, and the world watched in horror as Theismann's leg snapped right there on live TV. It was a scary moment that left everyone in shock. Even the coaches and players were shaken. Giants head coach Bill Parcells saw his own players react strongly, urging the Washington training staff to rush onto the field. The injury was bad enough that he had no choice but to retire. And if you thought that was as horrifying as we did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. Finally, there's this next player who only realized later how badly he'd gotten hurt. In a super exciting football game between the Bears and the Saints, Mitch Trubisky's team was trying hard to catch up, but they were trailing 14-3. Then, in a huge moment, Trubisky threw a 35-yard pass to Zach Miller, who made an amazing touchdown catch. The whole stadium went wild with cheers and celebration. But here's the twist. In the middle of all that excitement, only Miller knew the painful truth. He'd seriously hurt his leg during that incredible play. As soon as Miller landed after catching the ball, he felt this terrible pain in his leg. He was in agony, but he tried to put the ball down, thinking he had to secure the touchdown. It was a brave move considering the circumstances. After all the cheering and celebration, Miller was helped off the field and quickly taken to a hospital in New Orleans. His injury was really bad, similar to what happened to Napoleon McCallum, and he needed urgent surgery. Looking back on that tough day, Miller felt thankful for the quick decision made by someone from the Bears medical team. That decision probably saved his leg from amputation. So those were some intense injuries that can happen while playing on the football field. But if you want to learn more about the rules the NFL has in place to protect its players, make sure to click on this next video.